Well, we've got our calories set, I guess. So now it's time to start going shopping. And today I'm going to show you Wild Fork. It's one of my favorite grocery stores because they bring it to me. I don't have to do anything except for walk up to my door, pick it up, put it in the fridge, and go from there. So we're going to target Wild Fork just for ease. I understand some of this might not be quote unquote organic or the best options out there, but for my lifestyle, it works. And it's at least better than eating junk every day and ordering pizza or random stuff that is not going to be within my budget. So we've kind of targeted that roughly 2,700 range with a 3,400 range on weekends for those 2 days. So let's dive in and kind of take a look to see what that gets. Some of this stuff is probably going to be pretty bland. Some of this stuff might be better. There's one meal that I'm kind of prepping that I hope turns out awesome. And I'll show that to you guys and we'll talk about it a little bit in the video. But let's go to Wild Fork. Let's start prepping, see if there's anything that we're missing. And if so, see how we can supplement that, whether it's trying to ask someone to shop for us, Instacart, having the wife shop for us, whatever the case may be. We'll see what we can do, and let's go load up Wild Fork and take a look and see what kind of meals that we can put together.
All right. Well, last one we figured out what my calorie goal is, and we got some splurging for the weekend, and now we've got a dedicated daily. So this week we got to figure out what that means on a plate. I don't want to start a diet plan that I'm going to abandon in a week. So we're going to pick out some stuff that I really like. I know not everything when it comes to food is going to match up to each other, but this is pretty much stuff that I would eat. And we're going to try and build up some bulk meals so that I can cook. So I've got them ready for the week, and ultimately find some stuff that will store well and be really good down the road. There's definitely one or two meals that I want to try and cover. We'll definitely go through what they are and kind of what that looks like. And we'll hop in here and take a look. Now, for me, I'm relatively not picky, and I would imagine most people my size probably aren't very picky eaters. So we're going to go through and kind of pick out some food here and figure out what that means, what that is for a calorie intake, build out kind of what our days look like and what would be on a plate. Now, I am a huge person who loves meat, literally and figuratively. So I do want to stay, like I said, more towards the protein side of things for myself. That doesn't mean we're not going to have some carbs. I definitely want to try and keep some of them in there. I don't think keto is perfect long term. I understand why. I've done it before. We're going to try and find some stuff that we like. And this is always where I struggle, because everything starts to look good. And then I'm like, oh, just add this, just add this, just add that, and keep going and keep going. And realistically, it becomes, whoops, I ordered a little too much off the bat. I should not have done that. So let's just go straight to what I know you can season, you can make. It's pretty well off when you start talking about calories and everything else. Now, I prefer a thigh stand that we get a little bit more calories and ultimately a little bit less protein than for, say, a breast. So we've got a little bit more fat content, but they cook a lot better. So we've got 5 pounds of chicken thigh, which we know is super easy. We can season that in any which way that we want. So we're pretty open there. All right, so our boneless skinless chicken thigh, I'm getting 5 pounds based on the calories, 4 ounces, 16 ounces is 1 pound. I usually eat about 2 meals a day. We are roughly looking at 3 meals for this. So basically my target is going to be roughly about we'll say 650 calories of cooked boneless, skinless chicken thigh. And with that, we're obviously going to want some sides along the way. I think for one of our meals, we're going to add some taco seasoning, and we're going to make little rice bowls with cauliflower rice. So we're getting pretty much the entire package, if we want it, of 180 calories, plus the chicken. That's going to bring me roughly to 800, 900 calories. Figure some taco seasoning and maybe a little bit of sauce to bring it up a little bit higher. But we're definitely going to call that one of the meals this week. Our second one, let's do some garlic herb chicken thigh with some roasted vegetables. We're going to get this Normandy blend and be able to season that up. That should go very well with everything there. Broccoli's pretty good at absorbing some garlic and ginger. Cheap garlics here, and we'll add those to the cart. So that gives us 3 chicken-based meals for this upcoming week. We're definitely not gonna lie, we're definitely gonna add some Kung Pao sauce. Let's go grab some beef that we can eat. Got some flank steak, and we are going to grab some Brazilian beef flank steak. We already have the beef picked out. We already have the garlic and the ginger from that aspect. So let's go back over to our sauces. So we're going to grab a fajita mix for that. And I watched a video that struck me as delicious. So we're going to grab a chuck roast here. And this is probably going to be some of my weekend stuff mixed in. If you're anything like me, you absolutely love watching about food. I'm big. I'm not going to deny it. And one of my favorite channels out there to watch cook is Meat Church. And I was shown this week a recipe for chili. Sounded insane. So basically it is a 3-pound chuck roast. Put some tallow, some onion, some garlic. Then we're going to get some beef broth. I already have chili de arbol, so we're set there. And then you put in a few corn tortillas and you season it with their Blanco seasoning and then some Texas chili seasoning, both of which I already have. Blanco is absolutely one of my favorite seasonings. And if you ever stop to take a look at it, it is quite good because we start looking at some of the ingredients with there, and a lot of stuff has sugar somewhere mixed in. And realistically, I'm trying to stay away from sugar as a whole. And it is awesome. I highly recommend it. So we are going to make some Texas chili, some jailhouse chili, if you will, with the chuck roast. And that leaves me 2 days open, and we'll probably do something together as a family for those, have some chili or whatever the case may be. And past that, for breakfast, I'm try to stay fairly basic. And I love breakfast sausage. So let's go through and see if we can find some breakfast sausage here. In this case, we're going to go with 2 packages because it's going to be 1 pound, 2 for less as well. So we'll add 2 packages of uncured chicken sausage, and we are going to get that for breakfast to go with some eggs. And let's see if we can find roughly a ½ pound of something else. And then we're going to get the regular pork sausage as well. That gives us a variety throughout the week. But we are all set. So that is my venture here. We ended up going with a company called Wild Fork. Basically, if you've never heard of them, awesome. If not, the biggest thing about here is I don't have the ability to walk through a grocery store to pick all this stuff out, and they're fairly easy to work with. So this is somebody here who I am going to use. We're going to go ahead. We're going to get this ordered. And then ultimately next week, we'll show kind of what some of these look like and continue down the process. I've been trying with what I've got. And let's step on the scale to see how I did so far this week. Just trying to kind of stay relative within my previous keto, and I appreciate you guys and hope to see you guys in the next episode here.
All right. Look at that. Let's go. Well, at least I've got a plan for next week. We left some meals off if you didn't notice. I'm sure some of the chili will carry over. When we're doing the jail chili, if you will, it's going to need some onion as well as some broth. I did not get that at Wild Fork either because I want that stuff to be a little bit more fresh. So we are going to go ahead and add that part to our in-person grocery list, whether that's a curbside pickup at Jewel or Aldi, or we're going to get that added to the list and we're going to get prepped. And realistically, we have an idea. So that gives me a few days to start prepping, and everything's going to try and be meal prepped as much as possible. I'm going to try and season the chicken, cook it all together, have it ready so that when I'm hungry, I can just walk to the fridge and grab what I need. Sometimes cooking, and that is my weakness, is at the end of the day, I go to grab something out of the fridge, and instead of grabbing what I should, I grab chips, I grab some candy, some cookies, whatever's laying around, which can be a lot. Let's focus on getting it to the right path, staying within our macros and our nutrients, trying to stay within that realm of 3,400 to 2,700. And frankly, on these first few weeks, I'm probably going to try and push it closer to that 2,000 range that we saw, because I really want to kick this off the right way and get under that 400-pound marker as quick as possible. So hope to see you guys in the next one. And next week, we'll kind of talk about what I ate this first week without having any real plan and where we stand. So as you saw, I lost a few pounds, and that's awesome. I'm happy about that, and that motivates me more to keep going. Hopefully you can join me along my journey, and I'll see you in the next one next week.